Robbie, what's this about finance claims?
Look, if you had a car, a motorbike, or a camper van on finance between 2007 and 2021, you might have been missold or overcharged. Motor Reclaim can check it for you quickly and no win, no fee.
That easy. I've got to look into it.
Hit the link below for a simple check and you might have a valid claim to get some money back.
Hey guys, welcome back to DR Sports, and this is probably one of the last ones remaining, but we're back here at 12:30 for the World Cup Football Roundup show, and it is the business end of the tournament. We're talking semi-final times, a humongous, mouth-watering, scintillating game today. And of course, the huge one tomorrow that we all have our minds on. But to break down all of this great action, as always, we have an esteemed panel to my left. Marty, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm very well, mate. I'm very well.
Looking sharp with the new trim, looking fresh.
Thank you, mate.
Ready to rumble.
I am ready to rumble indeed. Looking forward to both games, actually. Tonight's game is an absolutely scintillating, mouth-watering clash between two giants in international football. Can't wait for it. It is such an important matchup. And obviously the big one tomorrow, Argentina and England. And yeah, really looking forward to it, mate.
And to my right, a man who I haven't seen in a hot minute. It's been, what, a good few months now, my friend?
Months, lads.
Yeah, it has. But Kim, how are you doing today,
I'm very well, thank you. I saw that video of you not letting that fella sing the other day. Absolutely loved it, mate. Absolutely.
You know
loved
what?
that.
I didn't even clock what I was doing. I can't lie to you. I mean, I think, you know, when you got like a 1 minute time restraint, you're trying to talk to people. Yeah. So it just went one ear out the other.
So
and
funny
I saw
that.
the clip the next day.
His little face, he was well disappointed. But no, I can't wait for tonight. I can't wait for tonight. I do think, like, if you, at the beginning of the tournament, were like, what do you want to see in the semi-finals? One of them would be France and Spain, the two favourites. And the other one would either be Brazil-Argentina or England-Argentina. Mm-hmm. So we've got the two best semi-finals we could possibly have. It's going to be unbelievable.
I personally would have rather had Argentina in the final, just so we could have played them in the final.
Really?
Well, the two teams I've been following this tournament have been England and Argentina. So that's from like a personal bias standpoint.
Okay.
But they're also the team who scare me the most, to be honest with you.
Really? More than France?
Personally, yeah.
Really?
Why?
Do you know?
Because, okay, this is going to sound like the Messi defense club again, but the thing is, Argentina, it doesn't matter how well you set a game plan out against them, how well we try to defend. If Messi decides he wants to turn it on, take it past three of our players and slap it top corner, there's nothing we can do about it. And with the way England have defended this time, we've shown the Mexico game, we showed it last game. There's been a couple of games where we literally will just sit 5 defenders back in our own box and allow them so much space on the edge of the box to try and whip balls in and trust our defensive nous to get it out. If you give that much time and space to Messi in and around your 18-yard box, you're dead. Because he will pick the correct pass.
I don't think we will, though. And I think the way that we handled Norway was that we basically just put John Stones and Gahey on their best player, who was Erling Haaland. And we'll just do the same again. John Stones has a pretty good record against Lionel Messi. Granted, it might not look like that statistically because Barcelona, where Messi have played, Messi has scored quite a lot against City. But that's Messi, right? He does score a lot against City. But if you look at those individual performances of Stones versus Messi, he's got a pretty good record against him. And this isn't... Although I do think he's probably been the best player this tournament, it's still not the Messi of old. It's still 39-year-old Messi, and he can stop him. He's not completely unstoppable like he used to be. He's almost unstoppable, but there is a way that you can quiet him. And I do think that if you put Stones on him and he has a good game and he quietens him just a little bit, limits him to just a few chances, I don't know if they've necessarily got that quality elsewhere, apart from maybe Julian Alvarez. I don't know if they've got that much quality in abundance to hurt us a lot.
I don't think they really do have much quality elsewhere on the side, to be honest with you, which is why I touched on Messi. Everything they do is through Lionel Messi. The only problem with putting a John Stones on him, in my opinion, is Messi will just drop down into the midfield. And then all of a sudden it's Rice's job to mark him or someone else's job to mark him, and he just moves around with a free roam. I hear what you're saying, because he's lost a touch of that like explosive pace that he had 4 years ago, but still...
I mean, what he did
Right
to
on the
Egypt in the
verge.
last minute as well, where he just skinned those two defenders.
I know. Do you know what? I think you make a really good point. And going to that Egypt game, that actually gave me great confidence. Egypt were 2-0 up, and my opinion with that is they should just shut the game out at that sort of level. I know people say, "Oh, it's Messi, you can't stop him if you want." But look, everyone was saying that about Erling Haaland. He scored, in every game he played, and then he faced us, and we completely nullified him to the point where he got subbed. And he didn't really have a sniff, apart from I think it was Sorloth who should have played that ball across to him. He was in acres of space. You put that ball into him, it's probably 9.5 times out of 10 in the back of the net, and we got let off with that. But again, we were saying this off camera, Kim, that Stones is, for me, one of the most important players. They talk about bringing experience like Jordan Henderson. Like John Stones has won the lot, apart from the World Cup and the Euros. But domestically, he has won everything. He's a quality operator. He knows the game inside out. I don't think he walks into a game like this worried. I think he has huge confidence levels, and so he should. He is a top performer and a player you need. Now, yes, Argentina can hurt you, but I think a side like that, we're 2-0 up. Hypothetically, you're 2-0 up against them. I think that Tuchel is that tactically astute that he will find a way to shut them out and get it over the line. But look, what a fantastic matchup. And I was funny you said that. I was thinking earlier, what better matchups you could have either had either Argentina and Germany or England and Germany. And like you said, Brazil and Argentina. They're probably the only. When you get into semi-finals of these competitions, that is exactly what you want to see. And this game tonight, I can't wait to watch it. I mean, Spain have been absolutely fantastic. They just get the job done. They hold it tight. We saw the other day they bring Mikel Merino on within 117 seconds. The ball is in the back of the net, and that's what they do. But whereas France, they're a side that, listen, defensively they're very good as well, but they will look to sort of blow you away. And can they? 100%, they are a dangerous side. Who would I rather play? The Argentina game, I do favour that. I'll be honest with you. France and Spain are two very, very. I mean, Argentina's a tough game, and I think
Why
they're
do
going
you favour them? Out of curiosity.
Well, I favour playing Argentina. The only thing is, obviously, they're going to target. I would imagine they'll target Bellingham for his, not to say his bad discipline, but we know the sort of housery that goes on in games, and the ways like you said, you can have a game plan against a team like this, and sometimes it goes out the window. It's like everyone has a game plan until you get punched in the face, and then it kind of all goes out the window. So in this, until the ball goes in the back of the net or someone maybe gets sent off. But we saw that then the other day that England are still capable of seeing a game out and actually scoring a goal when we go down to 10 men. So what I really liked, and I want to touch on this as well quickly because I haven't spoken about this, but obviously after the England game the other night, and Gabriel Clark, who obviously is a media reporter and a very, very respected media reporter in the world of media, and I thought it was very interesting how he went to Thomas Tuchel and said, and Thomas Tuchel actually said, I didn't think it was a fantastic performance, but I think that I was quite disappointed in how he went from Tuchel, and then Tuchel was like, no, it's not a mentality issue. That's mentality monsters are fantastic. And then he goes to Jude Bellingham, almost picking on him like I'd expect the Argentinians to do, or Argentina to do in the game, because they know that they might get a rise out of him. And then to say, oh, the manager wasn't happy. Not saying, oh, the manager praised your mentality and thought it was absolutely fantastic. And this is what I don't want to see at this end of the tournament, is the media, because I think what I will give the media a lot of praise for throughout this whole tournament is there hasn't been this heavy criticism. It's kind of like they've just let England get on with it and just be like, look, okay guys, go and crack on, and now we're here. We don't need to start causing any ruptures. Let's go and support the boys. Let's believe in them, and let's, this is a tough game for them. Going and playing Argentina. There's a lot of history. You take this back to '86 with the hand of God. There's a lot of stuff out of football as well that is coupled to this game. So for me, it is, I can't wait to see. And if we get into this final, is it coming home and we go and win this as well? What a season it would have been.
Unbelievable. I think the France versus Spain game, I was kind of saying this to my mates yesterday. I feel like that is more important. That is a more important a game to whether England will win the World Cup or not. Because I think if Spain beat France, I think that we've got a good chance against Spain. I actually would give us, and I don't want to be negative, I would give us almost no chance against France.
Really?
I feel like I feel like Argentina are there for the taking. I feel like we can have them. I feel like they haven't performed particularly well. Neither have we, by the way, apart from that one game in the Azteca and bits of the second half against Croatia. Let's be honest, we haven't been great this tournament, but we've got the job done in exactly the same way that Argentina have. So it's a bit of a toss-up. I know the bookies have got England favourites, just favourites, and I think that's probably fair. I would favour us slightly. I do just think against France, I can't see what you could do against a team like that. Even if you have the best game of your life and you stop Mbappe, they've still got Doué, they've still got Dembele, they've still got Elisa, they've still got Cherki off the bench. It just seems like there's just too much quality there. And I feel like at the beginning of the tournament, everyone was hesitant to just say, oh yeah, France are the favourites, France are the favourites, maybe because they didn't want to seem boring. But France are so clearly the best team in this tournament by a long way. And look, it's 90 minutes, anything can happen. But if Spain win tonight, I'd be interested to see what you two think. If Spain win tonight, I'm much, much, much more excited about the prospect of the World Cup final than I would be against France.
Really?
I think if France beat Spain and we beat Argentina tomorrow, on Thursday, Friday, I'm probably sat there already in my mind getting used to the fact that, well, we came runners-up and we had a great tournament.
Don't you think our midfield could upset theirs, though? Because we have a very, very strong midfield, arguably the strongest.
Honestly, I think our midfield is great. I don't think it's a detriment to any of our players. I think we've got a good defence and we've got a good midfield and we've got one of the best strikers in the world. I honestly just look at that France team and I just think they are too good. And I think if they were to come up against anyone out of England, Spain and Argentina, Spain have the best chance of beating them. The way that Spain play, the way that they can suffocate the attack, the way that they're so pragmatic, the way that they can score off one or two chances, they're way better than that. They're way better at that than we are. That is just true.
So in your mind, you think that France are way better than Spain?
I would be... Honestly, right now, I would love more than anything for England to win the World Cup. Right now, I would be amazed if France don't win it.
Really?
I'd be absolutely amazed. If Spain win tonight, all I'm saying is if Spain win tonight, I'm much, much more confident about the final if we beat Argentina.
Well, talk to me about that game then, because we obviously have it's at 8 o'clock. France versus Spain, the first of our two semi-finals here. France, as you said, going in, winning pretty much every single game. Well, winning every single game this tournament into it. Spain started off a little bit patchy. They had the Cape Verde draw, then they blew Saudi Arabia out the water, but even they wasn't the most exciting of games to watch. They've slowly grown into the tournament. I mean, last-minute winner against Portugal, but haven't really looked like the Spain a lot of us were expecting to turn up this tournament, and albeit there were a lot of injuries, etc. going into it.
They've changed a lot, right? It's been one of the biggest transitions from any team, any international team we've ever seen. From the Spanish slick football that won 3 tournaments in a row to this pragmatic style is a completely different Spain, and it's probably not one that we've expected. But you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the Belgium goal is the only goal they've conceded all tournament.
I believe it is, yeah.
They've conceded 1 goal all tournament. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure before that Belgium game, they conceded 3 shots on target all tournament. That is insane. Their defence is amazing. Rodri in front of the defence. Rodri has been mind-blowingly good this World Cup without actually doing anything. If you know about football and you watch what he's done the last few games, he's been utterly exceptional. And that's why I favour them over us to beat France. I think they've got an okay chance because they can stifle the life out of France. My opinion is those 5 players we've just mentioned, Cherki.
Message him, yeah. Get
your mind, mate.
Roger, how you doing, pal?
Cherki was one of the best players in the Premier League last year. You can't even get on, right?
Yeah.
Can't get a sniff,
You've got Elise, Dembele, and Mbappe, who all 3 might genuinely be the top 3 Ballon d'Or contenders. They might come 1, 2, and 3, and you've got them all playing on the same team for France. So that's why I think it's going to be really difficult for Spain, because I don't know how you can actually stop that much quality.
Yeah, do you know what? I think you make a really good point there, and that front 3 is frightening. You know, some of the footwork of Elise the other day in that game was absolutely mind-blowing, just how quick and nimble he is when the ball's in at his feet. But the one thing I will say is about Spain, and this is how good Rodri is. This is the first time since he got injured that I've looked at Rodri and been like, yeah, this guy's back. This guy legitimately is back playing and doing what he does. And like you say, it's that stuff off the ball. It's not because he's picking the ball up and he's driving 40, 50 yards with it and playing an incisive, mind-blowing pass to Lamau, who goes in the back of the net. I mean, listen, he's only scored 1 goal this tournament. It's the stuff he does. It's the organisation. It's how, with Spain, they're compact, they're concise, they're well drilled, and just they're very, very hard to break down. They're very hard to get anything on. And when they get their chances, they take them. And that is, you know, like you said, not conceding a goal. Okay, we said the same thing with Mexico, but for me, Mexico, a completely different proposition from this well-drilled Spanish side. And I think that point that you make with that, you know, tiki-taka Spanish football, what we're seeing now is, and look, it kind of likens me a bit to watching Arsenal. Sometimes they nullify games and it can be a bit boring, but they just get the job done. These games of football, it's kind of like, we see a bit of a change in football. It's great to see the 3, 4, 5, 6-nillers and all that, but you know that you'd expect more of that from this France side, who have got that real quality to hurt you and to go and batter teams off. But with Spain, what I like is they're just resolute. They just nullify a game and they just take a chance and they'll just nick the game. And you know what? Football. You know, we look at some of the best sides over the years. Some of, you know, Chelsea sides. You know, some of the old Arsenal sides. You know, etc. So you know, not like say a Manchester United sides is like you score 3, we'll score 4. It's like we'll win this game. We'll take it long and then we'll just get the goal. We'll just get what we need to do. We'll get it over the line. And that's what makes this game so interesting is that rigidness, is that, you know, style of play going to work against France? Because, listen, Paraguay and France, that was a tight game as well. So, you know, France can be stopped. The reason why, like I said, I'd prefer the Argentina is because we've seen with them that they can concede goals a lot easier. And then at least are probably, out of all the teams in the competition, the 2 teams I really didn't want to face are probably Spain and France. And we've got to play one of them.
Well, you have to beat one of them eventually if you're going to get to the final, right?
Yeah, but what a fantastic
Can't
birthday.
play Cape Verde in the final.
What a fantastic birthday present it is to have this game tonight to watch.
Birthday,
Yeah,
by
happy
the way.
birthday, mate.
Thank you,
And
mate.
can we-
To everyone in the chat, can we sing him a happy birthday in the chat, please? Everybody. And put some W's in the chat for my man for
we also
showing up
put-
on his birthday.
Can we also put a poll in the chat? France versus
Yeah, we
Spain.
can.
I would be
Yeah, that'd be
interested
great.
to see
We can get that
what
poll
everyone
going.
thinks.
Get that poll going, my friend. From what I'm reading in the chat, I mean, we've got some comments on it here. JJ8KNY. France have better depth if they go to extra time, which is a good point. I mean, they've got more depth than an Olympic-sized swimming pool. You know, you're bringing in, as you said, Cherky can't even get a kick in there, just chilling on the bench. And Ekitike's been left at home, and they still have the best attack by far in this tournament. W's in the chat for Marty. We have actually got your poll going, so we'll circumnavigate round to that in about 5 minutes' time. I do echo what you guys are saying, though, in that France are, obviously, they play the more exciting football. They have the better caliber players. The only weak point in that team for me really is the midfield, is the Rabiot and Chouameni link up they have going in there in the double pivot. And then Elise, when he plays in the 10, there just seems to be that big gap in and around it. And I think if you come up against a side that are well versed enough in the midfield, that have the battlers in there that are going to win the ball early, and then also the technical ability to play it around you, which I think both Spain and England do, I think that can cause you trouble in there. Because France, yes, they've been fantastic this tournament. Have they really been tested? Have they really come up against a great threat? They came up against Norway and battered them 4-1, but that was a Norway side who had like 20 changes made to them. Paraguay didn't look too comfortable for them.
Point.
Morocco, yes, great side, no two ways about it. Did they play the best football this tournament? Did they really give much for France to deal with? Not really. It was a walk in the park for them, which is why when I look at like the England perspective, I tend to say like, you're right. We haven't played good football at all. We've played that 23-minute patch against Croatia in the second half. We had the second half in the Azteca when we were down to 10 men and we had to fight our life off. But we've got to the point we haven't played that great, which means when we do start playing well, can you imagine the football will start playing, which is what gives me confidence from that point.
If we stop, we've got 2 games left.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 games left.
Well, listen, mate,
There's
if
not a
you're
lot
going
of
to
time
turn
to
it
grow
on, the
into the
semi-final
tournament.
and the final is the time to do it.
No, 100%. I get you. I think that's a good point about France. I think they haven't actually really been properly tested. I think we all expected the Morocco game to be a test, but Morocco didn't lay a glove, and it's not really their fault. They're the main striker out. Like, there's not that much you can do when you're coming up against a better team already and your best player's not there. So it's a good point. I mean, they'll show tonight, won't they? They'll show tonight really what they're made of, because this is a very difficult game. I think everyone that I spoke to, if you asked them their favourites for the World Cup, it was either France or Spain, wasn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. I think they're two top footballing sides that, like I said, listen, this is a game that, personally, I do kind of back Spain for this. I do think Spain will come through this.
You back Spain? Really?
I do. Do you know what?
What's making you lean towards Spain for this one?
It's just how compact they are and just how good. Just listen, France are fantastic. I've heard a few pundits say that they think this is the best French team ever. I've heard, obviously, before the World Cup, and people are likening this French team to the best ever French team. And look, no doubt they are fantastic, and I'll be completely wrong if France go and blow them away 3-0 tonight. But I don't know. There's just something in me that, listen, I really fully was, like you said, that front three is unbelievable. But Spain, they're just so good at getting it done.
So would you rather Spain beat France? Let's say we win tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Who would you rather win tonight?
Like I said, they're both the teams I didn't want to play at any point in the tournament, because I do think that if you had to rank the teams in order, I would probably put Spain. It's tight, just ahead of France slightly.
Wow.
I know. I mean, look, we'll find out tonight, won't we? But I just really sort of see what they're doing. I really like even though it's pretty boring, but it wins you games of football. It's not the best football to watch. What I saw with, obviously, Marino coming on and scoring that last minute goal, what a masterstroke. And then you bring a guy on to close the game up, and bang, that's what happens. Can France do that? Of course, France have got, like you said, Cherki can't even get a game. Cherki's unbelievable. He's unplayable at times. You've got Barcola on the bench. You've got quality. You've got they've got a complete array of fantastic ball-playing players, and they're dangerous. They are more than capable of putting 3 or 4 goals past you. And the thing that's scary with France is they can do it from anywhere. Yeah. Mbappe can pick the ball up out 30 yards and stick it in your top corner. He can run it from 50 yards and take it past 3 or 4 players and stick it in your bottom corner. Whatever. You've got the same with Dembele. You've got players of mad quality, and defensively at the back. I said a comment on this show about Upamecano and Saliba. For me, I do believe, and I've been watching this World Cup, and obviously it's not I'm biased. Saliba's a better defender. They're both world class. They're top defenders. But has Upamecano got a mistake in him? Yeah, he has.
100%.
Listen, and I'm not, and I watched the guy. He was a player that years ago was linked with Arsenal, and I fancied him, as a prospect for Arsenal. Obviously, where he went, he didn't end up going. Is he a top player? Yes, he is. But can he make mistakes? Yes, he can. All players make mistakes, and I just think it's going to be 2-1 Spain.
2-1.
Sorry to go into score predictions so
he's
quickly.
Jumped straight into the gut, mate. New trim, new Marty.
Yeah.
You're getting love for it in the chat, by the way. The chat are loving
the
it.
Trim. I did actually see Marty's new haircut's cool. Thank you. Thank you very much for all the happy birthday messages. I really appreciate it.
Big it up. Just bask in it for a moment.
I will. I'm
going to. Glory.
There was one. Marty's got his new hair transplant. I see that one. And
that was the birthday present. Was
Marty
it from the
been
missus?
to Turkey to get his hair done? No, I haven't at all.
Was that our hint? Just a one-way flight to Turkey. Go sort the barnet out, come back.
I've had it even when my hair was how it was. I just got it cut, and I'll be honest with you, it got cut a little bit too short. And I kind of did it like this the other day, and it's just stayed like it. But no doubt it will go back to normal. But anyway, there's enough about my hair. We're here to talk about.
It is, but obviously you're waxing lyrical about the pragmatic side of the game against them, which obviously you've witnessed a lot this season with Arsenal, and you're thinking that's the key to things. We did kind of see a little bit of that in terms of PSG versus Arsenal in the Champions League final. We saw it work effectively at times, but then we also saw the limit of it when PSG pushed you back, when they were able to get the penalty. You never really were able to quite get going and capitalise and get that second goal back again, taking it to penalties. If France get the wind between their sails here, is there anything Spain can do to stop them?
I think if France get an early goal, I think I'd be very, very surprised to see Spain get back in the game and win it.
Yeah.
I think they need to do... Spain need to do what Morocco tried to do, but better. And they need to be more effective at it. They need to shut them out for the first half, absolutely certain. And I think no one as a neutral wants to say this, but Spain need to make this a really boring game.
Yeah.
That is the way that they win. They make it really, really boring. They limit France to shots outside the area, to pop shots, to little chances. Second half, they can start being slightly more aggressive, getting a few more balls into the box, giving it to Lamine Yamal a little bit.
Yep.
Who's been playing on the right? Pedro Porro is our... I mean, if he wasn't already at like a Premier League club, everyone would be looking at him like, this guy is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's by far been the best right back at the tournament so far. He's been absolutely unbelievable.
Wow, best right back of the whole
100%,
tournament.
mate. The way he overlaps Lamine Yamal is exceptional. He's scored already. He's assisting. He gets back as well. He's absolutely rapid. I don't know where this was for Spurs, although to be fair, he scored a few for Spurs as well. Let's give him some credit. That right-hand side can be dangerous for Spain.
Very
for sure.
dangerous.
Lamine Yamal and Pedro Porro overlapping can be dangerous.
Yep.
But if I was Spain, which I'm pretty sure they will do, just leave that to the second half.
Yeah.
Let's just make this first half as ugly as possible, take the wind out of France's sails a little bit, and then in the second half, start overlapping, start applying a little bit more pressure, and try and do what they did in the Portugal game, get an ugly last-minute goal.
Yeah.
That's the way they're going to win this game. If they go toe-to-toe for France, which we know they're not going to do, but if they do, if France score early and Spain have to go toe-to-toe, there's no chance for me.
Well, they should.
I agree with you.
You touched on Lamine Yamal, obviously down that right-hand side with Pedro Porro. What have you made of his tournament as a whole? I mean, he's started 5 matches. Obviously, he came through. There was some injury problems at the beginning. Played 6. He's only scored 1 goal.
I think we were saying last week, weren't we, that the reason this tournament's been so amazing is because every single top player who you wanted to perform has performed. That is probably with the exception of Lamine Yamal. Now, he is coming off the back of an injury, so you've got to give him a little bit of credit for that. But I think as someone who is touted as the next Lionel Messi, I think anyone watching Spain would have been slightly disappointed with him. I know against Belgium, he had a few really good dribbles, and he looked a lot better, actually. He looked back to his best. But he wasn't shooting at the right time. He was keeping the ball a little bit too much. There were a few times where he dribbled past like 2 or 3, and it was so obvious that you would just shoot. Tried to overdo it a little bit. And maybe that's just being on the world stage. Maybe that's being at the World Cup. Or maybe it's just part of
Overthinking
his
things. So
injury.
you think
maybe
he's
just
trying too
overthinking.
hard a little bit, not letting it
I
come
think
naturally
probably,
to him?
I think, let's be honest, I think we've all been a bit disappointed in him. I don't think he's been absolutely horrendous, and I don't think anyone's saying that, oh, he's a fraud because he's performed the way he has. But I've been a little bit disappointed. When I've watched Spain, I would have wanted him to do a little bit more, I would say. But this is the prime moment. This is the moment, the semi-final of the World Cup. If you are that guy, and he had a great Euros, didn't he? When he was, 17 or something?
Yeah.
He had amazing Euros when he's 17. Now people are talking about you in the same bracket as like you could take over from Lionel Messi. You're in a semi-final against the favourites. You have to turn up tonight.
Well, will he turn up? Will he not turn up? That's, of course, the $1 million question.
Well,
Let
Luka
us
Dean,
know
by the
down
way.
below.
Luka Dean against...
Mate, how is Luka Digne suddenly bossing it on the world stage, mate?
Crazy. He's always had the quality, though. He's
Luka
obviously always had
Digne,
the
mate,
quality.
if you told me 12 months ago that I'd be watching Luka Digne and Pedro Porro in a World Cup semi-final,
Crazy, isn't it?
absolutely going band for band, then I don't know what I would have told you, but I thought you're talking gibberish, that's for sure. But Lamine Yamal has been under firing, but one man who hasn't is Kylian Mbappe, who has 8 goals and 3 assists this tournament, has been absolutely flying. Of course, La Liga Golden Boot winner as well. Do we think he will finish as tournament's leading goal scorer?
Remind me what everyone's on, if you don't mind.
So he's on 8. Ousmane Dembele is on 5. Oryazabal's got to be up there. Oryazabal's only on 4, actually.
Kane,
and then, of
7?
course, Kane 7, I believe.
Probably.
And then
Messi's on 8
Messi, why it's showing me his MLS thing, his 8 goals and 2 assists as well.
So Messi 8, Mbappe 8, Kane 7. I mean, it's going to be one of those 2, obviously, but...
Bellingham's close as well.
I think Mbappe, because I think France will win tonight, and anytime France win, Mbappe usually scores. I mean, he has been absolutely unbelievable. I think Lionel Messi's somehow proved that maybe this tournament he's kind of proved that maybe he is still the best, even though he's in MLS. He might still genuinely be the best player in the world.
No. There's no might about it. He
is
genuinely
still the best player in the
There's
world.
still no one that can do what he can do with
I
a
know.
football.
And he can still do it that well, and he can still do it at the top level. I love the fact that he basically went to the MLS, designed a whole rehabilitation centre at Inter Miami, having the final sign-off, just so he could get prepped and ready for the World Cup, and has performed this well. He is an absolute joke, but Kylian Mbappe is definitely second, and there's not that much in it. He is an absolute joke. He is almost impossible to stop. I don't really know what you do against Mbappe. If you put someone on him, he'll just drag you wide and then come in. That goal against Morocco, he just needed 0.1 yard of space.
Well, that's the
And he whipped
problem,
it
is
in.
because it's impossible, really, while he's at France, to try and isolate him and stop him out of the game, because if you put that much effort into trying to stop Mbappe, well, then you're just opening up space for Ousmane Dembele to come and tear you down wide. Then you're opening up space for Elise in the pocket or Desiree Doué to switch you down the other side. So France are definitely scary. For me personally, I'd actually rather play them in the final than Spain, just because we already lost to Spain 2 years. I just got a bit of PTSD, you know what I mean, from that
give us a bit
Euros
of
final
extra
against Spain. You know
Also
what I mean?
lost in the semi to France and all, didn't we?
We lost in the quarterfinal to France.
Sorry.
Yeah, where Kane skied his penalty.
Yeah.
And we lost 2-1. Chouameni ripped it from like 40 yards. But no, unfortunately, because they did beat us, I just got that PTSD. I don't know about you lot, but you said 2-1 Spain for this, correct?
I went to, I do go 2-1 Spain because, like you say, I think France have definitely got a goal in them, and I think Spain will have as well. And I just see them edging it. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because I see the quality in them, and I just think with like I said, with Rodri, I think he is sort of back to his best. Lamine Yamal, listen, he scored one goal all tournament, but if they go on to win it, will that matter? No, it won't. Listen, if you're talking about winning a World Cup at that age, no one's going to turn around. Even if he sticks with the one goal tally, no one's going to be like, oh, you only scored one goal in it. No, it'd be like, well, you're a World Cup winner, mate. And just all around the pitch, they've got quality. But again, what I will say is this is one of, I think this is, I haven't waited for a game, two games all tournament to get to this point of the tournament and see Spain versus France and England versus Argentina. They're just two, they're like the Spain and France. They're two teams with no water between them, and it's one of those big games. I was speaking to Raul the other day when we did the Spain-Austria watch long, and I said, "Oh, what's the game?" And he said, yeah, Spain-France. He went, there's history there, and it's kind of like they're close to each other, and it's just amazing. When you see the array of quality on display, it's phenomenal.
I don't want to talk about the future. I think you've always got to play who's in front of you. But Terry McDonald has said, this game is the final, guys. No one talking really believes in the other two teams.
Wait, is you talking France and Spain?
Spain is the final.
Well, listen, mate,
what
that's
do
a
you
big
think to
mistake.
that?
I think that's a humongous mistake, is what I think to that one, mate, because England and Argentina, as I said, Argentina have the best player in the world, and England have one of the best teams in the world. England are probably the most dangerous counter-attacking side in the tournament, and in a knockout game, absolutely anything can happen. And as we touched on before, France haven't really truly been tested. So what are they going to do when their back's against the wall? And they've got two of the best players in the entire tournament running through them, because for all we can talk about the Desiree Doués, and for all we can talk about the Ousmane Dembélés and the Kylian Mbappés, Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham are not far behind them, if not usurping a lot of them in a lot of these games this tournament. I wouldn't exactly look at France's side and say Jude Bellingham couldn't get into that team. I think he walks into that team. Would I say Harry Kane would be starved with that team? No, I wouldn't. I think Harry Kane would also get into that team. You maybe have to shift Mbappe out wide areas. So England by themselves have a lot of quality and firepower that people aren't talking about. And as I said, Argentina literally have the best player in the world that can tear anyone open like a Vindaloo on a hot summer's night on his day. And that is exactly what would happen in key moments in that game. But just to sum up this France-Spain game, just to finish up, put a nice little bow on it, What score would you be leaning to?
3-1 France.
3-1.
Yeah. I think they'll
You're
score
2-1
early.
Spain. Early goal.
Spain will open up.
Do you think they will?
Yeah.
I don't know whether you.
I hear it. I hear what he's saying.
I really don't want them to. I would much rather play Spain in the final. I'd much rather Spain win. But I just think France are just too good. Just look at the players there. They're ridiculous. That attacking lineup is absolutely ridiculous. We've probably never seen that before, you know. In our lifetimes, we've never actually seen that much quality in one attack of an international team before. It's almost equivalent to Neymar, Suarez, Messi at Barcelona. So it really is. It's almost that dangerous. It's not quite, but it's almost that dangerous. It's just lethal. And I like Laporte. He went to Saudi too early. I still think he's a great player.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know where he's had this renaissance from as well.
Cucurella's had a brilliant season, but like, are those two of the best defenders in the world? Probably not really. And they're coming up against the best attack in the world. I don't know.
Well, Cucurella's up there. I wouldn't necessarily say Laporte.
He's had a good season. Yeah, Kabasi's great.
No, Cucurella's had a good couple of seasons, really. I mean, and he had a phenomenal game, obviously, in the Euros final a couple of years ago.
But I will be wearing a Spain shirt tonight. I'd much rather Spain win than France. But I just can't. I just think France.
So you'd rather play Spain than France?
I'd rather. Number one, I'd rather play Spain than France, just because we've already played them 2 years ago. We kind of know how they're going to play, and the players will be very fired up, and they'll be able to learn from their mistakes. Well, I also think that the way that our defence has been slightly susceptible at certain points in this tournament, I think a lot of people have made our defensive issues seem a lot bigger than they are.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that big, but we've been slightly susceptible at certain points. And I think if you're slightly susceptible against this attack, I just think there's no chance.
Who would you rather play, James?
I'd rather play France. I'd rather play France because, number one, as I said, Spain are impossible to break down at times, which again would just be a very frustrating, cagey game. And I just don't want to play Spain again because we lost to them 2 years ago, mate.
So who do you think is going to win tonight then?
Who do I think is going to win tonight? I think it's... Man, I haven't been impressed with Spain at all this tournament.
Yeah, but
France,
you just said they were impossible to break down.
They had been until I saw them against Belgium, and Belgium managed to cut through them many a times. Belgium could have had a few more goals in there, to be honest with you. I thought they were actually quite unfortunate on the day to go up against a game like Spain. And the reason I said Spain will be hard to break down because of the way England like to play. England are predominantly a counter-attacking side, and these sides that sit deeper and try to slowly pick the ball around like that, England always struggle against us. If we played against France are going to try and take the game to us. They're going to open up gaps in behind. It's going to give England an avenue for a success. Whereas when we've seen many a times this tournament, when sides do not open up against us, when they try to outplay us at that counter-attacking game, which Spain potentially might try and, line up in a similar way to that, England have struggled to break them down. We haven't created anything. We've relied on a couple of moments of luck or magic or skill that have pulled us through it. And I don't really want to face that again in the final. Having said that, I do think France will just have too much on the day today. Just about. It's going to be close, but I think they'll have too much on the day. I haven't been impressed with Spain this tournament, really.
Really?
Not too much.
What, a team that's only conceded one goal?
Yeah, fantastic defence, but I'm talking about what you're doing in the forward areas, mate. That's what I'm watching Spain for. I'm watching Spain to see you cut through sides. Okay, fine. They haven't really conceded a goal, but then let's look at who they've played. Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, a Uruguay side who really flattered to deceive this tournament, Austria, a Portugal side who flattered to deceive this tournament, in which they got through on a last-minute winner, and Belgium, who at times really took the game to Spain and could have easily beaten them. Yeah. If it weren't for a couple of key moments in the game that went the other way.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, also, you can only beat who's in front of you. So that's not a detriment to Spain, but it's a toss-up, really. I mean, I couldn't really say you're stupid for saying either one of these two are going to win because they both have a lot of top players and in their own ways have proved through playing different styles of football that they are two of the best teams in the tournament. But for me, I'd be edging towards France. I kind of hear what you're saying. I think they've just got too much firepower for Spain on the day. But let us know your thoughts in the chat down below. Who you think's going to win it. Obviously, we have that poll going. Let's actually circumnavigate back to that poll right now. And currently, Out of 168 of you, 65% of you believe France will prevail as the winners. That poll is still live, so get yourself involved if you haven't already. As we have some questions circulating in, what's your starting 11 for England? I think that is a perfect way to move on to what is tomorrow's game, England versus Argentina. We did touch on a little bit of it earlier, but what did you make of England's last performance against Norway going into this game? Did that give you any confidence at all?
I thought we were really poor. I think Thomas Tuchel's right. I think we were really poor. I don't think we've been good this tournament. I don't think we've played that well. I think the Mexico game was so exciting and it was so fun. And we were so hyped up by the sheer determination and heart that the players showed that we kind of haven't really discussed the fact that the performance, again, was fairly average. It was a backs to the wall second half, which we performed admirably in, especially when we went down to 10 men. And the substitutions for Thomas Tuchel were amazing. And the actual performance of grit and determination from the players was like nothing we've seen before. But if we're talking on the pitch, we haven't played very well. So that Norway game, I completely agree with Thomas Tuchel. It wasn't a mentality issue. We tried very, very hard. We stifled them as well. We limited them to a few chances. Potentially got a little bit lucky with the push, but it probably was a push. And the weird thing about watching that England game against Norway was I never actually felt like we were going to lose. Even when they scored that goal before it was disallowed, in my head, I instantly just thought, we'll just turn it on and we'll score now. Because that does seem to have been what we've done in this tournament. Croatia, really, we limited them to 2 good shots. They had 2 good shots, and then we thought in the second half, well, Bellingham thought in the second half, I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to take this game. And it has worked thus far. And I don't see us playing much better tomorrow. I don't think we'll be amazing, because we haven't been amazing all tournament.
But will there be more gaps to exploit against a more open side like Argentina?
I think there'll be more gaps to exploit, and I think if Jude Bellingham performs, we've always got a chance. I think Harry Kane, if we're going to be honest, was terrible against Norway. I don't know if he was injured or if he was unfit or ill or anything like that. He was really poor. And against an Argentina side, which has Lionel Messi, who can always do something, you need your 2 best players to perform. So Harry Kane needs to perform a lot better. But as I've said, I don't see us going there and absolutely wiping the floor with them and dominating and putting in a great performance. I see us basically doing what we did against Norway and hoping that we can get that extra goal before it goes to extra time.
Cool. Can I just ask an opinion from both of you, actually, because we haven't spoken about this before, just to rewind back to that Norway game. In their goal, that build up to that goal, was that a foul on Harry Kane?
The Haaland push?
The foul, the foul on Harry Kane before he sticks the ball in the top corner. You know, when Harry Kane goes down.
Oh, before the actual goal.
Before the actual goal, literally, then the ball gets played out to left-hand side, messes around a little bit.
That one.
Possibly.
And for me, all right, this is my thought about it. You're talking about when he kind of chops his leg off.
Chops.
Okay. I would say, in general terms, no. But if you go off the officiating of this tournament, yes, because technically Harry Kane has gone for a step over and then moved his leg in front of the defender's leg and got tripped over. Yep. So I'd be looking at that originally, okay, that's not a foul. But then I cast my mind back to the Mexico game where their defender, or their attacker, did the exact same thing to Harry Kane and they got a penalty. If you actually look at their penalty they got, he stabs his foot away from the ball. It's literally not touching the ball and puts it over Harry Kane's leg so that when Harry Kane kicks up, he kicks the bottom of his leg and gives away a penalty. So if that's a penalty, then that's also a foul on Harry Kane, in my opinion.
No.
Okay, cool. Next question, just quickly. I just wanted to know these. I just want to know your opinions. Jed Spence runs
Quick
through.
fire questions. I like it.
I think that's a penalty.
You think that's a penalty?
I actually think it's a penalty because I think he moves his leg a bit too far over. But his leg is going to have to go somewhere. And he would have touched him. He would have touched him anyway because Jed Spence got in front of him. And the ball was in between the defender. The ball was Jed Spence. Was in between the defender and the ball. So he was going to have to foul him. Jed Spence shouldn't have exaggerated it in the way he did. But for me, that was a definite penalty.
Okay, James.
Yeah, just about.
Just about. Yeah. No, is it a penalty or not?
Yeah,
or
just about. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Just about.
Okay. Cool.
Why?
No, just intrigued. I just wanted to know your answers. It's a question, obviously, when I watched that, just as you were talking about England's performances and what have you, I just think for me that game could have, obviously, those decisions, sort of their goal gets disallowed and we get a penalty, it would have been maybe a bit more clearer cut. But listen, it wasn't our best performance. And I think we've got to this point of the competition without really turning on the style. I haven't looked at this England team and thought, do you know what, you guys are at 100% here. I haven't. I've looked at this England team and thought, there's still levels there, even though Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, I mean, Jude Bellingham has been absolutely phenomenal. Like, talk about, like you say, just be like, do you know what, mate, I'm going to go and turn this on. I'm just going to go and do the business and get the job done. And that is why he is a big game player. And to bear in mind, this guy's only 23 years old. It's scary to think how good this guy's going to be in 4 years' time when he's in his prime, or even I mean, how good he is now. He has been absolutely phenomenal, and for a midfielder to come up with a double brace back to back in games is unheard of. I think the only other player to do that was Diego Maradona, I believe.
In World Cup games. Let us know in the chat.
That's absolutely crazy. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. And I made a video on it, and I've said it loads before. I never realised just quite how good he was until this tournament. I always knew he was a top player, and I feel like Jude is basically living the life that every single one of us when we grew up wanted to live. Like, we used to pretend in our gardens that we scored last-minute winners for our country. We used to pretend that we scored 96-minute bicycle kicks in important games. We used to pretend that we'd get a move to Real Madrid and then win Player of the Year. And he's doing it all. Like, I think sometimes as football fans, and maybe this is just me, and you can tell me if this is just me, I don't like being told what to think. I don't like it being forced down my throat. So when people and the PR machine is running this Jude Bellingham's the best, Jude Bellingham's like Zidane, in my head, I'm instantly like, no, let me make my own decision. This World Cup, he's made that decision for me. He has been absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. And it's between him and Messi and Mbappe. Whoever wins the World Cup will be the player of the tournament. And those three, in my eyes, have been very, very similar. The fact that Jude's got, 6 goals? Is it 5 or 6 goals?
Yeah.
From midfield. And every single time we need him, over the last 2 years, every single time, he's turned up. And it's almost like he's a step above everyone else on the pitch. Against Norway, that's what it felt like to me. It was like Jude Bellingham was just chilling. And then he was like, oh, do you know what? Actually, I better score now. Got the ball, beat 2 players, left-footed finish into the goal.
Well, the brilliant thing about it, and the reason I think he's also played so well, because if you're going to put those three in that conversation, I'm going to have to put a fourth. I'm sorry, mate. I know you said he didn't play amazing last game, but I'm going to have to throw Harry Kane in there, because if you're talking about him being a level above everyone on the pitch, I agree. Aside from Harry Kane, I think those two are both a level above everyone on the pitch, and you can see it by the way they celebrate with each other, the way they talk to each other, the way they communicate on the pitch, the way they're bringing everyone up around them. It just looks like two bona fide elite winners. And for so many years, Harry Kane's been looking around that dressing room for England, and he's seen no one else that can step up to the mantle with him. No one else that can drag England through by the scruff of the neck, kicking and screaming into the next round. And finally, for the first time in probably his international career, he's actually looking around and he's like, you're one of me. I've got a match winner in here with me. I've got a leader, someone like that with me. And those two together is the key for everything good England have done this entire tournament. Is come through those two. And a lot of Bellingham's goals have come through Harry Kane setting him up, or Harry Kane making a decoy run in front of him to allow Bellingham to peel in at the back sticks and score it. So I think those two have had an amazing synergy. And as you said, depending on who wins the tournament, one of those guys will have to go down in glory. I mean, let's say hypothetically Harry Kane bags 2 and bags another 2 in the final and England win. Would he go above Jude for you this tournament? Or would you say Jude's 4 or 5
What, he bags 2 in the final to win it?
Mate, whoever wins in the final, I don't care who it is. If Rashford comes on and scores in the final, he's the best player in the tournament. I'm not bothered.
I don't know about you guys, right? But after that Norway game,
I rate that, as he says in his Man City talk, because I'm the same, mate. International football.
I don't care. If Rashford scores...
I'm knee sliding, mate.
If Rashford scores in the World Cup final and then next season he comes to the Etihad and his name gets read out, I'm booing everyone else. When his name gets read out, I'm standing up and clapping 100%. I think on these shows, especially because we do it like every week or like twice a week, 3 times a week, we get so embedded in like our club so much that like me and you just like argue about Arsenal City, Arsenal City, Arsenal City. We forget like I don't think we actually realise what it would mean to genuinely win the World Cup.
Oh,
this is
it'd be
what we
huge.
dreamed of as a kid.
I know.
But because we get so caught up now in our club football, we've actually forgotten that this was probably our first football dream, was watching England at the World Cup and winning it.
Mate, London would be
Nuts.
absolutely.
You know, when you said, "Oh
shut
yeah," you know,
down.
we were talking about Arsenal v Man City. You know, you forget. I thought you were going to say you forget about Leeds. No, look. Do you know?
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. I don't care. We don't like Man U at all. But if Rashford scores, or even if it was Maguire back in the day, I'm knee sliding all
For
over
you
the
guys,
game.
all right, I actually watched at home, so I watched it with the sound on. But you know, at the end of the game, you know, when all the England fans did Wonderwall,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys felt it at all, but when they started commentating straight over, and you know the players, and they see them going over, didn't you just think, oh man, can you just shut up for a second? I just want to hear this Wonderwall with the fans. What an iconic moment that is. I love that, how the England fans have adopted that song at the end when they win, the togetherness of the team.
I was at the Panama game, wasn't I, in New York when we won 2-0.
How was it?
Unbelievable.
Really?
Just singing Wonderwall at the end was like a proper like, you know when you get like goosebumps. And you have like, you can't really sing because you got like a little thing in the back of your throat because you feel like quite emotional about it.
You were there
It was
with
like
the
that.
England fans.
Yeah.
And
Right
that
behind
must
the
have been
goal.
epic.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
And
And it was like super, super loud. And you could like, because I was only about like maybe 12 rows from the back directly behind the goal, you could see the players a lot and you could see how much it meant to them. And I feel like we've lacked that. I feel like England and England fans have lacked that, even throughout the Southgate era, where he definitely brought us a lot closer together. It doesn't feel like we've had that like same unity or synergy. And I don't know, because I was out there in America, so I have a slightly different perspective on it. But I do feel like the fans that went out to America, the England fans that went out to America, were a lot different from England fans that I've been at games with before.
In what sense?
I don't know if maybe it's because of how much it costs to get out there that the crowd was like a little bit older. But it just felt like everyone was there for fun and everyone was there to enjoy themselves, rather than when I went to the Euros and when I've been away with England, it sometimes feel like everyone's there to let off a bit of steam, which usually ends up in getting too pissed, getting into a fight.
Yeah.
Whereas like this just felt like really harmonious and like really united. And when we were singing Wonderwall and the players were singing it back to us, like I, as like a non-white person growing up in Britain, I never really liked England football team and what it represented, like when I was like growing up.
Really?
But it does feel like now all the players from all walks of life, heritage-wise, and it just feel like the unity is just back. Like it feels like this would be an unbelievable moment. Like if we win this, I feel like just like spiritually on day-to-day level, it would just be unbelievable.
And
That's
I
exactly my
think
point.
Gareth Southgate deserves so
100%.
much credit for that, because we were a shambles of a nation, a national team before that. I mean, we had golden generations not even qualifying for tournaments. The whole country was fractured football-wise. As you said, the club rivalries, they talk about all the players and their club rivalries breeding into the national team. It was happening within the fan base, it was happening within the players, and finally Gareth Southgate came in, he said, less of that. Let's get everyone together. Let's get everyone on board. And he got us so close. And if it wasn't for a couple of penalties here or there, he would have gone down. He would, he did get knighted in the end, but he would have gone down as arguably the greatest English manager of all time.
But he lacked 5%, and that 5% is what Thomas Tuchel's
And you
got.
think Thomas Tuchel's got that little sprinkle of magic to
I
take
can
us
tell you
that
for a
step
fact,
further?
by the way, if Gareth Southgate got interviewed after the Norway game, which was objectively a bad performance, he would have just said how incredibly happy he was to be in the semi-final. He would have been going on about how buzzing he was to be in the semi-final. He would have said, "Oh, forget the performance. We're in the semi-final. Great." Thomas Tuchel's got that. He's got that little bit where he's happy that we're in the semi-final. He's happy we've achieved our goals, but he also, as a coach, knows that wasn't good enough. And he'll be telling that to the players. And that's what I feel like we needed. That's the only thing we lacked. I agree. I in our lifetime, Gareth Southgate's by far the best England manager we've ever had. He got us to finals, he got us to semi-finals. The teams that we lost to, we probably should have lost to, apart from Italy.
Yeah.
He was
And that was on
exceptional,
penalties.
And you're,
So
you're
definitely.
totally right.
And I'd like
Couple
to,
penalties
if we
go
win
the
this
way.
game tomorrow night, I would like to, listen, no disrespect to the commentators. It was like when Gabriel Clark, I was sitting there, I was just like thinking, please just let us listen to this Wonderwall, man. Just have your moment in a second. Like, please, you can talk. I'll listen to you for like hours afterwards, but please just play Wonderwall. Speaking of that, we've got little super chats coming from at ATVF 2295. Is Tielemans to United best signing of the summer? Was it 30 million release clause being activated?
Pretty good.
What do you think on that?
Not the best signing.
How old
of the
is he?
summer. It's a decent move.
What's that?
It's a decent move,
It is a decent
Tielemans,
move.
but I wouldn't say best signing of the summer.
old is he?
It's good value for money.
I think he's 26.
Who? Yuri Tielemans?
He seems
No
like he'd be older.
way. He's
No, 'cause
old.
he was
He's
at Leicester for
definitely
a
older
while.
than
I
that.
think he's about 30.
He is.
How old is he?
Yuri Tielemans is 29 years of age.
Yeah, so it's an okay signing. I mean, there haven't been that many amazing signings yet. I think if you get Bruno Guimaraes, that's the best signing of the summer.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be almost impossible to beat.
Kind of just below Harry Wilson to
Free.
Harry Wilson's move.
I do
just
think
below that.
I do think that you take money out of the equation. I think City signing Elliot Anderson, which is the exact profile of player that we want, and how well he's been in the World Cup, he has been amazing.
Yeah.
But you can't sign someone for 160 million and call it the signing of the summer. If it was 40, 50 million, it would be. Yeah, because you're not buying an Mbappe. It's too much money for that type of player, in my opinion.
That
But
was just a
I don't
case of go and get the guy.
It was,
Get it
I
done.
mean, the price is the price, right?
Just
And we
get it
needed
done.
him. We actually did need him.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
If we had him last season, I genuinely believe we probably would have got over the line.
you think? Yeah.
He's the missing piece.
Wow.
Because we need that bit of needle, we need that bit of metal, we need someone who can be a bit more box to box. We need someone who can drive forward and unlock a defence.
Yeah.
We didn't have that, and Rodri was obviously injured for the vast majority of the
Yeah.
season. So, yeah, I think that's a really good signing. But Tielemans is great. I'm surprised. No disrespect, I'm surprised not Arsenal or a City or someone like that had gone in for him for 30 mil. It's not a lot.
No, it's a good move. It's a good move to bolster up the depth of the squad. 100%.
I agree with the Bruno one 100%. I think, listen, let's talk, we're getting for 50 million quid, which is just absolutely insane. When you think he's going to take the dairy off of Rice if he comes in, will enable Rice to have a rest.
No, you'll win the league if you get him.
Oh, 100%. No, we need to add, I think, just three players, world-class players, like maybe a Julian Alvarez or, a Bruno. But anyway, that's another show. So at Mikey Rod,
We do,
1491. Honourable mention Saka / Gordon for England players playing up to the moment. Do you know what? Gordon's really impressed me, actually, in the last game or two. He's looked a lot better than in the group stages, and I'll tell you the thing about Saka is obviously watching him all season. I think Madueke, and we've come on, we haven't even done the team that the England team start, which.
Well, yeah, that's right. We are running.
I know.
tight
I
for
just wanted to
time
get
here.
the
We've
super
got
chats
3
out.
minutes. Yeah, no, he does.
Super chats out.
He does. It's a perfect.
I like to get them out quickly.
Of course, it's a perfect. Well, it's a perfect segue, which is why I was keeping.
Let's
I was
segue it
keeping,
quickly with the 4 minutes left.
Mikey Rod's there because it is a perfect segue. He's teed me up with a beautiful one there. Saka and Gordon, England players, as you said, playing up for the moment.
I don't think.
Would
Saka's
you
been very
make
good.
any changes going into this Argentina game? Obviously, Saka's been in and out of the side through injury problems. Anthony Gordon started in the side. He got pulled out of the side. Rashford came in. Rashford wasn't delivering. Anthony Gordon comes in. Fantastic 2 assists against Congo. Really good game against Mexico. And then again, quiet against Norway. Is there any? Would you make any more changes going back into this semi-final?
If I'm being totally honest, and I know people will come for me because they think I'm anti-Arsenal, I don't think Saka's been that great, and I don't think Madueke has been that great, and I don't think Rashford's been that great. And I think if we had slightly better wingers, a lot of the games would have been more comfortable. I think the last few games, Gordon's been fantastic. There's no way you drop him from left wing. Madueke's performance against Norway was really poor. He lost the ball almost every time he had it. So I think you have to play a Saka there. You could try a Marcus Rashford on the right wing, but probably not. I think Saka's more accustomed to being there. He obviously set up the goal against Mexico as well. He was pretty good in that game. So I don't know what changes you would make. I think John Stones has to start with Gay at the back.
Yep.
Nico O'Reilly, there's no other choice.
No, of course.
Right back, if Reece James is fit, he's the best right back in the league, so you have to play him.
Yep.
If he's not, then what
Konza.
choice do you have other than playing Konza?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Declan Rice. And
He's ill. lot of minutes. Listen. I think he's played more minutes than any other player in European football, world football.
And
He had a toe injury. He had a toe injury in January, which I don't think he's fully recovered from, and he's got a hamstring injury, and he's been ill, and he's just. You see him the other day. Even his corners weren't going in. Like he took 2 corners, and I was like, here we go, dead ball, and you see him on the bench. He looked mullered. He just looked done, and it's just like hopefully this 3-4 days is going to be enough for him to get back to it. But he's a very durable player.
I would if he's going to play like he did against Norway, which is he's been amazing. But if he's going to play like he did against Norway because he's ill or because he's not fit, there's no point in even risking him. And I don't understand why Thomas Tuchel's brought Kobbie Mainoo if he's not going to give him a single minute. I really think if Declan Rice is not fit, Kobbie Mainoo should be in there. Mm-hmm. He's got so much energy.
For me, if Rice is 70-80% fit, you play him. There's players in. If Bellingham 100%, if Bellingham's 78, you play him. If Kane's 70-80%, you play him. I think the only thing with Saka, right, is because Saka's game relies on pace and speed. Now, having Madueke on there, he is chaotic and he will wear you down. Now, Saka to bring on after 55-60 minutes, that's a perfect amount of game time to give the guy because. You don't want him on against fresh legs, and that's it. So that's where I'd bring him on, and obviously the injury. But I'm being
well. It is an interesting conversation. How will England line up? That's the question. But if they do line up like that, we will talk about it tomorrow.
Yes.
Can you give me some flash predictions, guys? For England and Argentina?
Well, I mean, thought we were going to do this tomorrow, but I will go.
All right, you can keep your gunpowder dry.
I'm here tomorrow as well.
We're all here tomorrow. All right, so we'll all keep our gunpowder dry. That's what I like to see.
We can see if our predictions go right.
There you go.
Tonight. So
I think it's going to be Argentina 1, England. Find out tomorrow. So anyway, guys, we'll see you back tomorrow here. I'll be here at live at 5 as well, so make sure you don't go anywhere. There's a whole host of great content coming at you thick and fast on DR Sports, so make sure you subscribe and tick that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the great content coming around here. But for now, from me, from Marty, from Kim, we'll see you next time.
Robbie, what's this about finance claims?
Look, if you had a car, a motorbike, or a camper van on finance between 2007 and 2021, you might have been missold or overcharged. Motor Reclaim can check it for you quickly and no win, no fee.
That easy. I've got to look into it.
Hit the link below for a simple check and you might have a valid claim to get some money back.